Jay, in today's times, especially with some of the stuff we see on social media, it appears as though people that are not entrepreneurs have a lot of opinions on those that are entrepreneurs and are truly getting it out of the mud. Do you see that coming across your feed? And then how do you feel about that? What are your thoughts?
I don't think it's not entrepreneurs. I think it's full-time entrepreneurs. There's a difference. Entrepreneurs, you can have a job and be an entrepreneur. It doesn't make you not an entrepreneur because you have a job. But it's a difference between a full-time entrepreneur and somebody who works a job and has a business on the side. It's a different level of comfort. It's a different level of risk. For that person who doesn't have a job, they're risking it all. They're risking it all. Psychologically, they you don't even, if you have a job and you're running a business, you don't even understand what that person is dealing with psychologically that's running the business without one. You having the slightest idea what traumas they're dealing with. Some people might say it's easy enough just to tell them, go get a job. Sometimes that is the case, but sometimes it's not. And a lot of times it's not. For whatever reason, it doesn't, put them in that position for them to go get the job. It's better for them to stick to their business where they are. And long term, if the business is successful, you probably will see that they made the best choice not to go to work. What I find the problem is that there's a lot of people that's out here that got full-time jobs and running their businesses, and they're judging entrepreneurs that are full-time entrepreneurs. That's where they cross the grain. You think of people like Anton Daniels. He's very opinionated, brother. His whole platform is extremely opinionated. He knows more than anybody else, the majority of individuals. You know what I'm saying? He's that person. And I applaud him for being honest about the fact that you got a job, but you can't be that hard and judgmental on people who don't and they're running a business. And you've never been in that situation, and that's not how you got to your winnings, you know what I mean? Because you don't know that path. It's like a person who's never been in the street speaking on street stuff. Like when I grew up, you can't do that. You can't speak on street stuff. You know what I'm saying? Person that been to jail, spent time in prison, like it's even difference between jail and prison. So like a person that been and spent time in prison, you can't have that conversation with them if you ain't been to prison. You know what I'm saying? Like you can talk to them, but from a judgmental perspective, no, you can't judge them. You don't know what they survived. You don't know what they went through. You don't know what they endured to get through that situation. And there's so many other, examples I can use, but that's the part that really bothers me with these individuals who have their jobs and they have their business on the side. Yes, tell people how to get to the bag. Tell people how having a job and the safety net of a job helped you get to where you need to get to. And you can even encourage them if it's, hey, this is an option for you. Might make your journey easier. Great. But you cannot judge them. Like you cannot judge them. Like that's totally flagrant. That's totally out of line. I hate when people do that. You cannot do it. Yes, it's personal to me because I couldn't get the job. Me being a felon. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't because I was lazy. The little crappy jobs I had, I put on. I did very good at those jobs. But I have a college degree. And I couldn't get a job that warranted the degree that I got. And so I couldn't have the health insurance and the 6-figure salary from a job. And so once you get to a certain point in your business growth, I couldn't go back to no $10, $15 job. That would be holding me back. I've already seen 6 figures in a business at that point. Like I can't go, I got too many connections. I can do things, $15 is gonna be holding me back if I'm sitting there doing that for a living. So it's a lot of people like me that been through that situation. And so you don't understand that. You don't know what that's like. And so when you don't know what that's like, that's a whole nother situation. So Who are you to speak on and judge? You can speak, but you can't judge. You can't judge. Everything is judgmental. Everything is, oh yeah, you supposed to be doing this. You stupid if you doing that. How you doing that? This way. No, this is their path. Get to know people's path before you speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Like you, but more importantly, the judgmental portion has to stop. I give the applause for people who not lying about them having jobs, because you have those people telling everybody they're full-time entrepreneurs and they're not. They have jobs. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, y'all can just jump off. Let's say jump in the lake. Y'all people who lying, but the ones who aren't and being honest, yeah, that salute. It's cats I saw. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a cop, made millions in real estate. By all means, salute, double salute to him. There's a sister I saw out of Atlanta. She's a firefighter. She's higher up now. She's in the higher rankings, but she has her business, and her and husband, they making millions. Man, salute, double salute to y'all. Another brother out of Maryland doing the government contracting, but he has a government job himself, making 6 figures. He said it. Hey, I ain't leaving my job. Salute. But I've never heard them judge an individual. When I say they never did it, I never heard them judge an individual for not having a job and working their business. You know what I mean? And y'all got to stop doing that. You do not have the right. You don't know nothing about what it takes to actually, that's getting it out of the mud. If you got a job and you running the business on the side and it grew and you didn't get it out of the mud, that's a lie. Stop using buzzwords to make it seem like out of the mud means really out of the mud. Out of the mud means that you were literally in the mud. You're not in the mud when you got a job. I bought the smallest house of all my friends because I didn't know how my bills was going to be paid. So I didn't know what was going to happen. Me and my wife drove one car for 4 years. That's the mud. She in and out of crappy jobs. I don't got a job to where it is now. That's the mud. Cats with their 800 credit scores and their jobs and always had, man, look, I know you don't know nothing about having the food stamps at over 30 and trying to figure it out. Y'all not in the mud. Stop claiming because you did your thing on your own, you were out of the mud. You're not out of the mud. The mud signifies that it was a different level of restraints on you that you had to bypass in order to be successful. You did regular, I'm working my job stuff. And when you making an investment in yourself, all you did was substitute 2 weekends at the club and say, you know what, I'm going to spend $1,000 on investing in myself, in my business. But both things, you did it for the same reasons. Why? Because you knew you had a check coming next week or 2 weeks later. That's safety. When you decided to go take a vacation, you still got a paycheck. When something happened, you had FMLA, you had disability insurance, you had all that stuff to protect you. You're not in the mud. Stop trying to get in the mud. And for all y'all nerds that's in this situation right now, because y'all running the world right now because it's cool to be a nerd, it's cool to be behind the computer, and that's how y'all working it. Don't take away what we've done really in the mud and the things we've been able to accomplish out here because you doing it with your thumb gangstering and doing all that other stuff. The real world is still there. And our kids need to know that because everybody ain't going to go that route. And they're in the mud right now. And you lying to them, telling them about the mud, and they believe in you. You're not getting it out of the mud if you got a job. I salute you having a job. You ain't got to take my word for it. I got it in every one of my books I wrote. 4 of them. It's documented. I want you to get a job because I couldn't. And if I got love for the people who follow me, I'm going to tell them to do it easier than I did. But at the end of the day, I'm not judging nobody. And I hate when other people is judging other people. So stop judging my people who getting it out of the mud for real, and start helping them, throw some lifelines, show them an easier way to go ahead and get out of it so that they can, not go through the hardships that people like myself went through. But you sitting on your high horse, you sitting in a space you ain't never really been through nothing, and you sitting here talking about what people that really been through something or going through something, and you're judging them, I got a problem with you. You got to stop it.